Got this new ruby tip nozzle for printing abrasive filaments. It's in 0.8 millimeters. Gonna swap out the old 0.8 on the Kobra Max and do some calibration prints today. Got the nozzle in, so it's time for the first test, and that is gonna be just leveling it. So we're gonna prepare, leveling, auto level, and make sure it's working. Calibration success, and she'll start going. I'm going to open up Super Slicer and go up to calibration and start with the filament flow. Got that all sliced and loaded on the SD card, so it's time to hit print and let it do its thing. Out of all these, looks like the +10 looks the best. Take that to the slicer and do a little finer tuning. So I've bumped up the extrusion multiplier in accordance with the last test, and I'm going to go back to set up the new one. And I have it set for 2% changes. Super Slicer already got that set up for me. It's pretty nice, and we'll get that ran through. Well, it looks like the +10 was the way to go, so let's go on to a temp test. Filament suggests anywhere from 190 to 220, so that's what we're going to do for the temp tower. Temp tower's done. Looks like 190 is about the best. We'll take that and use it for our next step. Next step is for retraction, so we'll go ahead and generate that. I don't need to save any of that, and good to go. So I got the retraction test done. Looks like the worst of the stringing ended about layer 7, which means we need to change our retraction setting to about 3.5. So go over to printer settings, set this to 3.5. And this is going to be my last calibration for today. There is one more, but I don't usually use ironing, so I'm not going to do the ironing test. This last test will be for the flow ratio of the bridges. It'll test from 100 down to 60%, and we'll get an idea of what's the best flow ratio to make our bridges look better. So out of all these, I like the 70% the best. We'll go take that back to the slicer, and we'll be done. The last thing to do is just print out something for real and see how it turns out. I'm gonna make this Buddha bender for my buddy, and hopefully it's good. And I'd say she turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this. Just gotta work on a little bit of cooling for my small perimeters, and everything else is great.